My advice for people who are looking at ayahuasca is to consider that it might be one of the more dangerous, spiritually dangerous of the plant medicines that you can do. It's one thing if you go down and you do it with a trained shaman whose job is to keep all the bad stuff out that can come in when you do Aya. The order of operations for spiritual development rapidly that I've looked at over time would be you should start out with meditation. And if you're still not getting what you want, just go down the list in this order. Then you should do breath work. Then you should do EMDR, which is trauma resolution. You can leave your body and see past lives during EMDR. And these are regression therapy, where they can kind of hypnotize you a little bit and you can go back and what the heck? And you're still not getting there. What, you haven't done any drugs yet? Too bad. Then you could do neurofeedback, like what I do at 40 Years of Zen, my clinic that does brain upgrades that way. If that's still not getting you there, then you could try heart rate variability training, which is a thing where you learn how to control your fight or flight response. And if you still haven't got there, then let's start with what's known. Ketamine. There's thousands of ketamine clinics. I've done episodes on ketamine. Ketamine is a pretty similar experience to some of this other stuff. It is legal, it's well understood, and you know what you're getting. And after that, you might try MDA, also known as sassafras. Then you would try MDMA if MDA didn't do it. And if that's still not doing it for you, then try LSD. And if that's not doing it, then try good mushrooms if you can find them, because you never know what you're getting with mushrooms. I'm a fan of mushrooms, but you need to know what you're getting. It's one of the reasons I'm an investor in Paul Stamets's mushroom pharmaceutical company using psilocybin, as in properly harvested psilocybin, with some other things like lion's mane and niacin to cause whole brain neurogenesis that's never been done before. Okay, so I like mushrooms, right? I'm also an investor in Life Cycle, which makes lion's mane and a bunch of other stuff that I've talked about a lot on the show. So mushrooms are great, but I don't like the idea of just taking random mushrooms out of a bag at a party, because those things open you up and you need to be in the right place with someone who knows how to hold your space. And if you still didn't get what you needed from the mushrooms, then you should try DMT. And if that didn't work, then you should try 5-MeO DMT. And if all of that doesn't work, get your ass on a plane, fly to Peru, find a jungle shaman who will actually talk to you, which is hard to do if they're a real jungle shaman, not the guy at the airport holding a sign wearing a funny hat. And then you might try ayahuasca. But I think it is not without risks, and I think we're underestimating the risk there. Long answer, sorry.
No, that makes a lot of sense. You got to be responsible. You got to take your time and really work your way up the ladder.
You don't even have to do that. It's just if you take the highest risk thing, you're probably not going to get more benefits than the lower things. Oh, I forgot the most important part in there. Somewhere around after doing EMDR and breath work, you also should add tantric sex in before you go do ayahuasca. Like learn what your hardware can do before you have to do chemical modifiers, because there are about 20% of people leave their body during good sex, and many of them experience meeting spirits, meeting God, the same stuff they say when they're doing plant medicines, because during the right kinds of orgasm, you actually release DMT, the same stuff that you're playing with when you do ayahuasca. So just understand you have a lot of onboard things you can also do from holotropic breathing, which is a form of breath work that can make you absolutely leave your body and just go places, that was designed as a replacement for LSD by Stan Grof and his wife. I know Stan personally. I didn't get a chance to meet his wife. She passed before I met him, but I've breathed with Stan. I've actually put an event on with Stan Grof, who's now in his mid-90s, actually late 90s. But this guy is the father of transpersonal psychology that was invented. All the stuff we just talked about was invented by him and his wife when he treated 3,000 patients with LSD in the 50s in Czechoslovakia, as it was then known. And he's like, well, now that Sandoz isn't making LSD anymore, I guess I'll have to find a replacement. And so a lot of the modern breathwork we get, he got it from yoga, but he used it as a standardized treatment for therapy because he found Freudian analysis just didn't really cut it. So we have this long history. This guy's a master. He's still alive. But this is just in our lifetime. And you look at where we're going to go, it's going to get more and more AI driven so we can get there faster. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing with 40 years of Zen. Because when you can see what your brain is doing, when you can see what your body is doing, then you can see whether what you did to change it worked better or worse.
If you enjoyed that, click here for more great content on how to improve your health and your life. I'll see you over there.